My initial bias in the market was bullish, but once I logged straight on, I wasn't completely sure. Saw Asian range, which was mainly just consolidation, then London took out Asian range highs and pushed downwards. So I marked out London highs, London lows. On the 1 hour before market open, which is that blue line there, I just wasn't seeing clearly enough bullish action, because bullish action for me is that what I want to be seeing is disrespecting bearish action, respecting bullish action. So yes, we're seeing bearish disrespect of that fair value gap there, this in the London section, this FEG. Yes, that's being disrespected, but on the 1 hour initially, once I first logged on to the charts, I didn't see clear respect of bullish price action. Only later on, I remembered that I go to the 15-minute to confirm. And based on the 15-minute, we can clearly see disrespect of these bearish fair value gaps there. And then price is respecting bullish fair value gaps like there, for example, and down here as well. Once we got to market open, it's only then that I see that 15-minute price action. But once we got to market open, I wanted to see bullish action, which would then be the 930 candle, giving me an open low high close. And that actually perfectly played out right on market open. So if we mark out the 930 candle, opens there, low, low, and perfectly moves into that 15-minute imbalance, high, close, and then that allowed longs. I just wasn't secure enough in my bullish bias yet to have taken this setup, which is fine, not a big deal for me, more opportunities to come. The next potential setup, which wasn't, again, like, so the first one was an A plus setup, but I just wasn't sure enough at that moment in time. Second one was a more tricky one. So on the 15-minute, at that time period, for this second trade, there was no retrace into a 15-minute gap. But if you go to ES, there's a clear retrace into this 15-minute gap. So what ICT teaches, and with smart money concepts, the rule is that if you were to get a retrace into a gap on ES, then you could go long and then you could go long on NQ. So on ES, if I show you out of that gap, that would have been my entry point down there. And we got the right inversion and I could have gone long, right? So then at the exact same time, NQ went down and then it gave me a clean inversion and I could have gone long. But it just wasn't an A plus setup for me. And I think that if the trade lost, I would have been emotional and annoyed. And that's exactly how you know you're taking a wrong trade, or you're not taking the ideal trade. So yeah, the trade worked. To be honest, I've seen trades like this play out multiple times where you get a retrace on a different asset. So on ES, you get the retrace and then the trade plays out on NQ. I know it works and I know it happens, but by means of psychological preservation, I just didn't take this trade. That's it. The key draw was definitely previous day highs, which were up here, and those got hit, and those would have been the best target for this long setup. But again, I just wasn't secure enough in my bias yet, and I didn't notice the 15-minute. I forgot to notice that. So lesson. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Lesson learned, I guess. Yeah, based off a 30-second inversion here. To be honest, one of my rules was not to take 30-second inversions like this, where you've got a 30-second inversion as the highest time frame inversion. But on the 1 minute, there's no FEG present. My rule is not to take trades like that because a lot of the time you can get caught up in chop in scenarios where you've only got a 30-second fair value gap. But I think this was quite a nice textbook setup where we got literally on the 930 on the dot, open low into a fair value gap, and then high close, and that would have allowed a long setup and targeting of previous day highs. We also had a lot of bearish SMT with ES. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw short setups form eventually. But I think that the draw is quite strong for now. The draw to these 4-hour levels here must be quite strong, being why the market's ignoring the SMTs that we've got. So overall, I'm feeling neutral on the day, not feeling like I've missed out, not really feeling FOMO. I guess next time I could take a setup like this, but it's just not secure enough for me. Like I'd want to, the best setup would have been to see that 15-minute retrace on NQ and then take the trade on NQ, not just see it on ES and then base that for my entry on NQ. I'm overall happy with my analysis though. I did some learning over the weekend and I realized that the reason for a lot of my losses has just been because I haven't been analyzing the daily bias enough, and that the vast majority of the time it's actually just been chop. But today what I did is I waited and made sure that we were bullish before considering any entry point. Learning point from today is just to remember to check the 15-minute and 5-minute for confirmation as well. But overall, happy with